The theme Reimagining Church is a call for us to evaluate and pray about the needs of our churches first and the needs of our communities and how best to respond to those needs, relying on the Holy Spirit to guide us and convict us, together with loving our neighbors as ourselves and fulfilling the Great Commission.
When I think about reimagining church, my mind immediately goes back to the fact that we have not been doing church the traditional way it usually is done. For example, in today's society of doing church, we have, instead of a choir, we have a band. Instead of persons coming and gathering to a building per se, we now have live streams, YouTube, Facebook, etc. So you can be in your home and have access to your church content. You can have access to your sermons, your praise and worship, and even your giving. So when I think about that, I think we as the church, local church, especially here in Jamaica, have to align ourselves with the technological era and combine that with our human resources to make doing church better.
It's about going back to the mind of Christ. It's about understanding how creative Jesus Christ is and how he gathered together men of different talents and of different professions and caused them to be able to present the gospel through evangelism. We have a responsibility as the church to pull together all the talents and not so much of focusing on the cultural stigmas that are not very much scriptural. Within the midst of this COVID-19 crisis, I implore that one thing that we're supposed to do is to reflect and to rebuild, because right now we're in the dark, but joy and light comes in the morning.
Reimagining church, I believe, means finding creative and innovative ways in order to bring across the gospel and also to perform the core functions of the church. As someone said, principles never change, but methods change every day. I believe what we can do as a church in this pandemic is to place greater emphasis on a telephone or technological ministry to evangelize, counsel, build relationships, and also to assist in miscellaneous needs.
In reimagining the church, I see a church with a fresh passion for Jesus, and that passion be translated into action. I see a church walking in complete obedience and surrender to Christ. I see a greater manifestation of spiritual gifts, and it's all working. I see more young people realizing their identity and proclaiming their love for God in creative and bold ways. And then I also see a united church that mirrors heaven. And what we can do in light of COVID is just simply get out of the building of the church and go out and display Christ to the world.